So look, today I just want to talk about chocolate cravings and more specifically sugar cravings in general and why we have those cravings and ways that you can combat them and overcome them so that that's not impacting your health and fitness goals. It seems to have been a bit of a hot topic this week with a few clients of mine and members as well, so I think it's worth talking about. Everyone loves chocolate. If you don't, then fair enough. You're different, that's okay. But what's important when we're having these sorts of treats is that we have them in moderation. Like, you got to remember that that's packed full of sugar, which is calories, which is the stuff that you generally don't want in your body, which can lead to things like sugar addiction, which sounds funny, but it is actually a thing. I can't quote the actual study, but there was some study done somewhere where, more or less, I'm just going to paraphrase the hell out of this, like sugar is as addictive as cocaine, as drugs, and the withdrawals that people go through are absolutely shocking. A perfect example, I had this one PT client who shall remain nameless. When we first sat down for our initial consult, things were moving in the right direction, I felt. This person was so keen to sign up for one-on-one personal training and start moving towards their goals. They were just about to finish their university degree to be able to fully practice as a lawyer. So straight off the bat, they like to argue. As we're going through this consult, I've come down to a section on where areas you feel you could improve, and I noticed that she wrote reduce how much Coke I drink. I thought, oh, okay. And I didn't actually even get to bring that up, and she just like snapped at me, like very angry, and like did the whole like hand smack thing. She was like, I will not ever, never drink Coke. I will always drink it. You can never stop me. And I went, oh, all right, well, that's interesting, because you put that down on your list as something that needs to be improved on. But she was like just so addicted to Coca-Cola. Like, that was the only liquid she would drink. She would drink 2 litres of it at least a day. That's the only liquid going in her body. Like, you can only imagine what's not going right inside her. So that aside, she seemed fairly motivated, so I thought. But this sugar addiction that she had, it held her back so much. Like, she wasn't seeing her weight move in any direction, really. She was just like stuck where she was. I mean, to her credit, I guess she didn't gain any weight, but because she was consuming so many calories in liquid form and not doing anything to burn off those calories, to put herself in a caloric deficit to achieve the weight loss she wanted, she wasn't getting anywhere. And this sugar addiction was one of the main causes of this. And whether you realize it or not, like, if you are addicted to sugar, you really need to do something about that, because it's holding you back in so many different ways and you don't even realize it. So just moving back to this chocolate topic, so I was having a conversation with a client of mine, and she was saying that she's having these chocolate cravings quite regularly, and we started discussing like why, like what's causing that. And so we narrowed it down to it's emotional eating, which is something that a lot of us do. I've been guilty of that. So looking at the cause of the emotional eating then, and just following that chain to see where it actually leads to and what that root cause is. And is it the fact that you're not only, are you potentially addicted to sugar, but like, why are you craving that? Like, what need is that servicing that's making you feel better for your emotional eating? Like, is it stress in the workplace? Is it stress at home? Is it stress that you're not moving towards your weight goals? It can be a variety of different things, but it all starts and finishes with your mindset. Like, if that's not in the right place, and I bleat on about this to my clients and members, but like, if your mindset's not in the right place, it looks for a crutch to make you feel better. And if emotional eating is where you're at, then a lot of the times we tend to go for comfort foods, which are your chips, sugary drinks, sweets, chocolate lollies, those sorts of things. Now, ways to start to curve that, you've got to be kind of creative. If you're you know, you get to the end of every night and you just want that bit of chocolate. Just as the example here. Ways that you can curve that and still have that chocolate sensation is to, you know, exchange the block of Cadbury Dairy Milk for a chocolate flavoured protein shake. Or you can get, from Coles, they do reduced sugar dark chocolate, which are fantastic. They come individually wrapped. You get 5 to a box. You can find them in the health food section. They're a fantastic substitute. And the good thing about this, and people don't think about this too much in depth, is because they're individually wrapped, not only do you have the satisfaction of opening a chocolate, but finishing a whole chocolate as well. Now, whether you realise it or not, that actually plays a part in the mindset, subconsciously, of having that sweet and adding to that satisfaction of knowing that you've finished the chocolate. Whether you think that plays a part in it or not, I find that it does, with clients that I've dealt with this. But if it's not an emotional reason that you're, you know, going for that sweetness at the end of the day, or that sugar craving, there's a big chance that you're not feeding yourself properly during the day. Like there's a need that your body's craving, and it turns to quick sources of energy, which are, you know, sugars and bad carbohydrates like chips. So look at your diet throughout the day. Look at what you're eating. Are you fueling yourself correctly for the goals that you want to be achieving? Or are you just eating whatever shit's laying around because you're too lazy to put a meal together? Yes, we're all busy, but, you know, be creative. Put some meals together. Cook a large meal so that, you know, you can have tea one night and then you've got lunch for the next day or for the day after that, or however you want to make that up. But if you're not fueling yourself if you're not fueling yourself properly, your body's going to look for that energy somewhere, and chances are you're going to get to the end of the day, and you've probably been snacking throughout the day anyway, trying to fill that gap, and whoop, dropped my light there, and you're going to let yourself down at the end of the day, which is not what you want, because that's not going to help you get towards your goals. So just again, back to that chocolate point, ways to curb that. You've got your chocolate protein shakes. You can have that with water or a little bit of milk. Your sugar-free, reduced sugar dark chocolate, Coles brand, really good. They're really the best ones. Oh, sorry, there's a third one, that's right. So it's called casein. So it's like a protein powder, but it's just a bit thicker, so it sits in your belly or in your tummy a little bit more solid, so you feel like you're kind of eating something. Or you can try out like a protein custard. It's really easy to make. You just make it in a shaker with a bit of milk, shake it up, and then just eat it with a spoon straight out the shaker. Like, you've got that satisfaction of, you know, eating something that you perceive as a treat, but it's nowhere near as bad for you as some chocolate is. And again, like, chocolate's okay, but in moderation, and that's what's important. So, sorry, had a phone call come through then. All right, guys, that's it for this live. I'll see you all Saturday for another live. If there's anything you guys want to know, you got any questions, let me know in the group or comment on here. If you're watching this back later, make sure you leave a like so that I know that you've been watching. And yeah, I hope this has just helped you to think a little bit more about if you've got any sugar cravings or you're an emotional eater through the day, ways you can, you know, tackle that and overcome that. If you need a little bit more help with that, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to help. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see you Saturday. Bye.